And I think that that's really, who we are as Indians, that at the end of the day, we may want the government to help us and do this and all that, but at the end of the day, we know the government really can't deliver much for us.
In India, if you come and translate sort of youth in India and sort of that demographic, 650 million people under the age of 35, 800 million people under the age of 40. What is your pitch to them? What is your pitch to them to say fight for capitalism, right? Because, I mean, how do you expect somebody, who's maybe just thinking about which stream to choose for college, how do you expect that person to not feel scared and insecure about walking in and getting a job at Google? He never knows when he's going to get disrupted. He doesn't know what kind of exposure, education, talent that he needs to kind of, not end up in that 15% that gets booted out every year at Google. Why should he not say, look, I need that government, I want that government job, I want some stability, I want some job stability. What's your pitch to him that this free market capitalism is the best way for you?
Because, look at the alternative in terms of what we lived through. We lived through the alternative system in the 70s and 80s. The good thing about emerging markets, I feel, including like India, is that that memory is still relatively fresh. America never experienced what socialism is like. So they can therefore romanticize about socialism appears like a very good concept, right? Which is the fact that, like in terms of that, I'd love to have protection, I'd love to know I'm going to earn that much. But that is the good thing in India, I feel, and many emerging markets, that there is no constituency here for saying we need to go back to that, because that memory is still very fresh. So that's why I wanted to write this book. It's in a way an ode to capitalism. And it's in a way of sort of saying that it's getting a bad name in the West today because of the massive distortions that's been caused. But we in India today, and that's where the book begins, have gone through a socialist past. We have lived through it. We do not want to go back to that. And I think most people, I know that some people won't even remember because the population is moving so quickly, as you say, to becoming younger. We still have memories of that. I don't think we're going to take kindly to curbs on our freedom. There. And, just going back to even our election trips that we just did, yeah. One thing which I found so revealing in all our travels, which we did, was the number of people who felt, why did they vote this way? Was also not because they had anything particular against the government, but this feeling that, this is getting too one-sided. Ye bahut ek tarafa ho gaya hai. We want a balance to be restored. And I think that that's really, who we are as Indians, that at the end of the day, we may want the government to help us and do this and all that, but at the end of the day, we know the government really can't deliver much for us. The quality of the government schools, the quality of the government hospitals, people see that every day. You give them private sector alternatives, that's where people really want to go.